Hello and welcome everybody to the 2020 Round 1 Front 9 coverage of the Clash at the Canyons 4. This is Ryan Nick Productions coverage presented by Link Disc Golf, Dellwood Disc Golf, Disc Mania, Unstable Disc Golf Gear, Unstable Discourse Podcast, and Canapros Box. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Tristan Tanner. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
It's great. I'm pretty stoked for this card. We have Gavin Rathbun, a somewhat local who's now on the road. He has a huge arm, and who is this
Wow, look
moron?
at that face.
Oh my, what a serious young man. Brian Earhart, also me. Philo Brathwaite from California, also on the road full-time. You know him from quite a few things. Mm-hmm. And then this guy's pretty good too, I'd say.
He is very good. Yeah, been great for a long time. Had another big win recently, so excited to see how he continues with that.
We got Gavin on hole 1. This is a long par 4. And he kind of went towards that middle gap.
This is not the basket we're playing to. We're playing a par 4 down the hill. You'll see the camera pan to this now.
So yeah, you can either go right gap or left gap.
What are you throwing here?
That was actually a DGA Tsunami. I tried to throw a flex sidearm down that right gap. The left side really doesn't have much of a gap to get to the bottom of this hill. And you'll see Philo looking to take this right hyzer here. This is a DX Rock.
Trying to get some turn on it. Just let it drift and finish straight down the hill. Tree at the last second, but that's still a great shot.
Yeah, and what I loved about this was the hometown crowd at Dellwood is just always so hyped up, and no matter what event they have here, there's always some sort of gallery or people coming out to watch the pros, and Nico giving them a bit of a show off the tee. That was a great first shot.
Do you have much there, or were you just pitching down the hill?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Pitching down the hill.
Yeah, that middle section is really tight. This is actually somewhat of a newer par 4 position. So it used to just be that short pin that you had mentioned, and they're really trying to beef this course up, and I think they're going to eventually try to have a much bigger tournament here. And I think we have the space for it and the community for it.
Definitely, yeah. Like you said, the community out here was amazing. There was a huge gallery, both rounds, really great presence.
Yeah, and Sean with Dellwood Disc Golf has done so much to grow this community and grow the sport in this area. And as you can see, we have some challenging holes on this new XXL layout, and Nico just narrowly escapes the OB.
Good kick there. I don't know what Gavin's throwing there. I would assume like a P3X or
he likes to throw a lot of overstable plastic.
Yeah.
From my knowledge of playing with him in the past, and Disc Mania has no shortage of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Philo from about 60 or 70 feet.
Yeah, this is kind of a scary bid with how the slope. Wow.
Hello.
Great putt. That is such a scary putt with how the slope is. If you hyzer at all, miss the basket, there's a highly likely chance of rolling over.
Yeah, I would say even hitting, especially on this hill, it's like a 60-40 chance of rolling away. That was a great putt from Philo.
Little stepper.
Oh. I had been working on this step putt all quarantine, so I've been so stoked to bring it out on the road, and I used to not even have anything to call a C2 putt.
Okay, yeah.
I'm proud of that stepper, even if I missed it.
Little loss of focus there from Gavin. Maybe some first hole jitters. I don't know how much he's played on camera, but
he's played quite a bit on a lot of local cameras, and I think on the road a little bit as well. He was on the Memorial lead card coverage a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He's been playing quite a long time for how young he is. Nico taps in the birdie. Yeah, and if you're not in a very good position off the tee here, bogey is not uncommon on this hole.
Definitely not. Even if you're in good position, it can sometimes be hard to get a good score.
Yeah. After a great putt, Philo takes the birdie, Nico takes the birdie, and then me and Gavin have taken bogeys. Moving on to a safari hole. There's not going to be a hole preview, but this is a giant U-shape. And as you can see that light pole on the left side, that is a Mando right. So we're going to be bending these shots left and trying to get all the way around the corner to 15's basket. This is actually course hole 14.
A little low out of the hand from Philo.
And that's going to make it tough to get around the corner there.
Oh.
And that was straight up a slip job. I saw that come out of his hand without even his hand opening up.
Definitely. Here's a Zeus you love so much.
Oh, yeah, and I'm just trying to get it over left, but I got the lucky gravel skip next to the basket.
Huge skip.
Put me in a decent spot.
Yeah. A couple choices of fairway there.
Mm-hmm. This is from the drop zone, which is the short pad for 14.
Be a little pinched off with that, but he should be able to work something to get a putt.
And this one, I think, is some sort of Firebird.
I would assume.
Philo. And that was rough. One of the few soldier trees guarding this basket.
This is a stiletto from Nico. Very overstable distance driver.
It's one of my favorite things about him as a player is just the fact that he can down tempo on an overstable disc better than almost anybody
Definitely.
that I've ever seen. I'm trying to go zone
A
here.
little flex line.
Just clipped the outside edge.
Wow, that was looking great.
Yeah.
This looks really good. A little bit long, but that was pretty tricky lie.
Yeah, really not bad at all. That was about 25 feet deep, and Philo hoping to cash another one of these big putts. I rarely see him jump putt.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
has such a long push putt that I don't think he has much of a need for it.
I agree. A little low from you. That's a long putt, though, and early in the round, haven't really got a whole lot going yet.
That was a rough hole for Gavin. Just missing the Mando on this makes the hole so hard to save par from. And Philo does get a lot of hometown love here because he does have a family that live in the Chicago area, so that's why he does roll through to the Dellwood area quite frequently. Definitely has a lot of fans out here.
Yeah, definitely. There was people coming up to him all weekend.
All weekend.
Getting, signatures, pictures, everything.
So a 6 from Gavin, and I took a par, Philo with a par, and Nico getting another birdie. We're going to move into hole number 3, which is a brand new position, 390 feet downhill to the left. And look at this tight line it makes you throw.
That's Nico with a crown, so he's throwing putter, which is going to give a little bit more glide down the hill, but he doesn't quite get the left finish that you need on this hole.
Yeah, it's almost one of those shots where if you forcibly saw the hyzer off, it's going to be better off than what you would think it would be.
Definitely.
And my sidearm is a little bit low release, so I like to go backhand here. That was a beat-up banger. And I'll take that.
That's a beautiful shot. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a really hard line, really.
I think in general, for lefty and righty, and this is the shot that I was talking about. It looks like it's going to be way OB. It's actually almost OB, but pretty good.
It looked like a pretty slow disc.
Yes. Looks like some sort of potentially an FD3. This is a tough angle for Philo.
Looks like he has a little gap, though. Oh, that's a great bid from that position. Are these branches in your way at all on this putt?
Tiny bit. I'm going for a little bit more hyzer than I would. Well, I guess they were. Either it was going to be a huge airball high or just the branches caught me.
Stepper from Nico.
And
That's
I
a great
love
putt.
this stepper. This is actually what I've been trying to model my step putt on, is Nico's new one that he's been working on.
There's a great putt from Gavin.
And he has a ton of hometown fans here. He's been playing in the Dellwood area since he was a kid. And took a little time off disc golf, but now he's back full force, and I think the people love it.
Yeah, definitely. Philo tapping in a par.
And another hole goes by that's pretty challenging to birdie. So it's awesome to see Gavin come back and get on the horse and get the birdie there. And then me and Philo take the par, and Nico gets another birdie.
Hole 4 is a par 4. The first shot is kind of like a saw-off right to left shot. There's a path on the right side that's OB that Nico just found. This shot from Gavin is a little inside, but that's actually a great play. I mean, if you don't want to try to do that, but if you do, it's like, okay, sweet.
It technically is the optimal play to get up the fairway, but which is why I do like the shape of this tee shot. You can really bite off as much as you want, because if you play too safe and you get to maybe that tee pad, you got a 470-foot approach.
Yeah, and it feels like it plays a little uphill on the second shot.
Yes.
It's much longer than it looks.
Much longer than it looks. And now we have the OB path on the right. Makes you think a little bit. I'm just going Blue Zeus again. If I could flick a Blue Zeus on every single hole, I would.
You would, for sure. Nico with a lot of distance left, like we said. Oh, he's actually going roller.
And he's going roller, which is a bold move with the new tighter OB that we have, but obviously he's no stranger to throwing dangerous rollers.
Wow, that was
not
amazing.
A bad shot.
Yeah.
One of the first backhands of the day, threw it a little bit too low there.
Yep. Philo probably even flex it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a wraith that he throws.
Okay, yep. Didn't quite get the turn all the way, but still, that's just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Really playing into that hillside is a great play on this
That's
hole.
a good thing to remember, is you do have the ability to blow long and not skip too far.
Definitely. Gavin's actually going to have a great window right there.
Yeah, and I think that was a
putt.
mid-range.
Yeah.
He makes distance look really easy.
Definitely. There's that stepper again. Little Annie on that one.
They're going to fall. One's going to fall
it's gonna
eventually.
come. Stepper from Nico. Just a little bit low. Right on line, though. Another good putt
There you
from
go,
Gavin.
Gavin.
Good to see him get that turned around after a couple unfortunate misses on the first couple holes.
There's another birdie from Philo.
Some tricky footing up on that hill. All the leaves can really make that kind of...
Yeah, definitely. And I'll take a par. You know, it's interesting on this course. I've played quite a few events here, and you just know if you're parring too many holes, even on the XXL layout, you are falling behind. So definitely, as we move forward, I'm starting to feel a little bit more pressure when it comes to getting these birdies. So hole number 18, or hole 5 on the XXL layout, is pretty straightforward. As you can see, there's a gap to hit. There's a creek in the middle if you do hit early, and you want to just pipe one at the basket. And Philo's ace running this.
The ace run is almost a play on this hole. With how the rocks are short, it's really easy. If you aren't committing to a full shot, you can hit those rocks and just stay edge of circle.
I was trying to flex this a little bit and try to do the same thing that Philo did. I actually told the crowd that I was going to ace it, and then I did that.
Nico, this is a stag.
This is what I love about his backhand. The stag is not an overstable disc, but he's able to manipulate nose angle and wing angle to make it look overstable.
Definitely.
Beautiful shot.
Ooh. Scuba?
This was just me trying to put on a show for the fans. And then I kind of did the opposite there.
Yeah. A little high from Nico. Oh.
Oh, my. He lost his balance.
He lost his balance majorly. Big gust of wind or something. Good putt. Clean up from you.
I think 3-putting after airballing a scuba would have been the worst possible result.
Yeah, especially after saying you were going to ace on the tee box.
Oh, yeah. Might not do that again. Great birdie from Gav.
Yep. Right here in this couple holes, we really get to see a lot of the canyons here.
We do.
At Dellwood.
It's such a beautiful park. You would not expect it to be in, the middle of Chicagoland, Illinois.
Yeah, definitely.
But highly recommend, if you are someone that drives through this area, check out the canyons. It's absolutely a destination course. And hole 2 alternate is a tight downhill window, and there's trees blocking the straight shot, so you do have to swing it wide and pay close attention to the land that your disc is going to be skipping off of.
Definitely. This, as you can see from Philo's, it didn't quite have enough hyzer angle, and now it just catches that grass, and that grass is sticky.
It's a lot of clover, so it's so funny. Yeah. The ground you need to hit on is very close to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
So either you're landing on a dime or you're trying to play the skip off the gravel, and I was, but just threw it a little bit too high.
Yeah, those branches are really low. You almost want to go around the branches, but then you also want to get left enough to get that skip off the gravel.
Exactly, and I like this shot a lot. Yep.
That's one of his signature VIPX Fortress, I believe. It's a great shot inside the circle.
That's just a straight-up layup.
Yeah, no need to try to mess around and run that.
No.
Philo giving it a half bid. That's just fine.
And that's the other interesting thing about this course is a lot of these greens are on gravel. A lot of these baskets are anchored into gravel, so you have to watch yourself on any putt that you throw, any approach shot that you throw.
You see, even on this putt from Nico, it almost looks like he just put it a little softer than he might have normally.
Yeah, especially with that creek running through the entire course, it makes you think a little bit. And I think that's really the theme of this course. There was a lot of par 4s that felt like a 3 was necessary, but a lot of the par 3s out here are very demanding tee shots.
Definitely. Yeah, one or two birdies and a couple pars are pretty common, I feel like.
Exactly, yeah. And moving into hole number 4 quickly. This is a straight uphill all the way par 4.
Rollers are pretty common play on this hole from our righty players. They really just have to miss this one tree in the middle. That air shot is great.
Yes.
And late turn it around that tree.
And the toughest part is you have to really blast this shot up as far as you possibly can, because the second shot you have to go over the road, over the fence to another green that's been set up for this long pin. So Philo puts it in a pretty solid spot. I'm actually trying to go cut roller here.
Okay. Wow, that is a really... Wow.
It still hurts to see that.
Yeah.
Just, it's very, very challenging. You want to get more to the right side on this fairway to have a much more open look to get up and down for a 3. And that's why I was going a little bit more aggressive on that one.
That's a perfect recovery shot. You're going to have probably just a slight turnover, a forehand from there.
Exactly.
Nico trying to get to that same landing zone that you got to. A little bit shorter, but he'll have that same sort of gap.
Exactly. Gavin's in a spot where he can go for the birdie here.
Wow. Pretty sneaky gap. Edge of circle, left side. That's great.
That's a great second shot.
To have a birdie look on this hole is really incredible.
I would say this is the hardest par 4 in the course.
I would completely agree.
You can't play safe off the tee. That's the hardest thing about this hole. It plays more like 750.
Oh, yeah, at least.
And Philo just kind of saws his off out of bounds, unfortunately. Oh.
I believe that's a gatekeeper from Nico.
Look how soft he's landing that. Oh, my
Wow.
gosh.
That is so good.
If you are someone who likes throwing flex shots, study every video that Nico has put out in the past 5 years.
In the past, his whole career.
I know.
All of them are just...
Well, what's interesting is he goes through phases. He went through a hyzer flip phase. He went through pretty much every line you can think of.
Wow. Philo almost banging that one. But yeah, Nico really, I mean, his game is so well-rounded. Yeah. But he definitely leans on, recently he's been leaning on that flex shot a lot.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, he has so much control with nose angle, and that was coming straight down. That had no speed on it when it hit the ground.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
After geeking out about that beautiful flex shot, we have Gavin tapping in his par and Nico tapping in his awesome par save. and I am not too upset taking a par in this hole.
Yeah, like we said earlier, pretty hard to birdie this hole. Even with a perfect tee shot, you still have to have a great second shot to get just a look at the basket. So
exactly.
4 is not bad at all.
Philo, after unfortunately going out of bounds, takes the bogey, and we're going to move into... Actually, and forgive me, the hole numbers on this course are messed up, not because of me, but just because of the fact that this XXL layout completely shifts the course. We're starting on hole 13. This is hole 4 for the course, but then for the XXL layout, this is hole number 8. Kind of a par 3.5.
Yeah, very much hard to get a 2 on, but a 3 is what everybody wants.
Exactly. If you do get aggressive like this shot, you might have a look at a 2.
That's a great shot with the forehand.
If you throw a power hyzer like I'm trying to do here, push it against the tree line. I sawed it off a little bit too much. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Pretty, I mean, you want to have a good look at this hole, but if you're in the fairway, you're pretty happy with it.
That's okay. Philo's rock comes out a little... you could tell it wasn't the shot that he wanted to throw. I think he was trying to get aggressive with that turnover, but still put it in the fairway.
This looks a little... That's really scary. Landing with that much hyzer on this hill going into this green.
I know.
Their rollaways can happen so easily.
Yeah, and take note how I'm trying to land it with a little bit more subtle hyzer. And I guess it was pretty good.
Yeah, that works. Philo taking a little Annie line, control the angle a little bit.
Another thing to note, if you have not played Dellwood and you're seeing this for the first time, that creek that we had mentioned is running through almost every hole in the course, and right behind this basket is OB in the creek. So they're calling these pars, these threes, but it says a par 4. The hole is scoring like a par 4. So the threes are actually quote unquote birdies, but
they definitely feel more like a par.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that, because that's what I feel about these threes.
Yeah, definitely.
But after a bunch of threes, we're going to move into hole number 9. And I really like hole number 9. It's a tight tunnel, slight dogleg right. We have some trees in the middle of the fairway that make you pick outside or inside.
Nico goes with that outside line, a little more overstable of a disc on a little bit of a flex angle. And that's great. That outside line can be scary. With the trees right by the water, you can easily get a kick and end up OB.
Yeah. And Gavin's is okay. I thought that was going to be good, but apparently kicked something on the outside, and I was told that if I didn't hit that, I was going to go out of bounds. So just a challenging shot to get off here.
Philo's going to be going that inside line. Did that clip something? Couldn't
it did.
Really tell.
It clipped a little something. And interesting verbiage. You heard Philo say, get negative, get negative, get negative to his shot. If you're a newer player, that phrase is not used often, but he was meaning for his disc to turn over.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I've actually
with the
never
spin.
heard that before. Interesting.
So positive would be fading against the spin, and then negative would be fading with the spin.
Great. This is another basket where it's all like this gravelly wood chip mix all around the basket.
Kind of a rough putt there from Nico. I think he said something to a spectator up top.
Yeah, this is a really beautiful... When you're walking down the fairway on this hole and the spectators are all up on that bridge, there's quite a few bridges on this course, and it's so cool just to have that. It almost feels like a stadium a little bit.
It does feel like a stadium. It almost feels like kind of foreshadowing for what we might be seeing in the future of disc golf.
Definitely.
Bunch of pars there after hole number 9, and that's going to be the front 9 coverage for you. Definitely had a couple hot starts and players are starting to kind of mellow out now, but we will catch you on the back nine. Tristan?
It was great.
It was
Pleasure.
great.
We'll see you on the back.
Make sure to subscribe to NYC Productions, and we'll see you on the back nine.